Hello and welcome to the award-winning Ed Brown Show. I am your host, Kamaria Richmond, and we have a wonderful show for you today. We are talking to Mr. Ron Mitchell, and Ron is so exciting. He is the Ignite coach, and he's also the CEO at BEM Enterprises. And so I'm glad to have you here. Thanks for coming in today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's such a pleasure.
Yeah, so we've talked before, and I told you I love your energy and what you do. So tell us, you have a great story, so tell us about your story.
Well, thank you so much. Born and raised in Chicago. I'm a product of a drug-infested ghetto in Chicago. Needless to say, overcome an enormous amount of potholes and obstacles in order to be successful, I should say. And growing up in Chicago, it's a very, very tough area. I lacked the reading fundamentals, and as a result, I struggled all through high school. And eventually graduated after 5 years of attending high school. Eventually graduated, was reading on a 5th grade level, but needless to say, I kept myself fueled and inspired just by having a dream that somehow my life could change. And so as a result, I've continued to push hard and work hard and went through college. And then, of course, tackled law school, took the LSAT 3 times in order to get in, was told no by over 400 law schools, but eventually was granted admission to law school at the University of Pittsburgh with a scholarship, and then went on and to attend business school at Clark Atlanta University, and did some coursework at Emory University, and continue to move forward and work hard, helping to transform communities, which is my passion, and ignited the human spirit. And as a result of that, we've been able to work for companies like Booz Allen Hamilton, doing organizational strategy, helping to do what my passion was. And that is to not only transform communities and people and organizations, but again, the human spirit. And that's how we've got us here today, and that's how I got here on the show.
Yeah, I mean, you have done some incredible work. So you are the Ignite coach. Tell us about that.
Well, our motto is to ignite the fire within people and organizations and drive the human spirit. And when you can do that, it changes the game. Something special about being motivated, but it's something different about being ignited. When the human spirit is ignited, that's when the unimaginable, the impossible begins. It's like taking 2 pieces of wood and rubbing them together for a long period of time. And then as a result of that friction, you can see the smoke behind smoke. You can see the fire because you know something has been ignited. And that's what we do, to turn that switch on and create the fire inside.
And growing up, because you have these different challenges, could you ever think of igniting your own fire within? Could you think about being an entrepreneur? Because you were challenged, and did you say, well, you know what, but one day I'm going to?
Well, the one thing I had is a dream, and I held on to it. Okay. And I continued to fuel and feed the dream. My greatest success today is my book of failure. Failing over and over and over again, because I learned that the most successful people have failed a lot, and failure gives you experience, and with experience, it gives you birth to success. And so as a result of that, never thought about being an entrepreneur, but I thought about changing the world.
Amazing, amazing. And you've said so many different things that I've just, as I told you, I watched your YouTube videos, and I want one right after the other, right after the other, because you're going to talk to us about why not. And you're going to talk to us about the why, and talk to us about getting ready. So tell us, let's start with the why, because when you have been, we've all had challenges, and you talk a lot about pain. So we've all had that pain. So how do we begin to find our why? Like, if we have no clue what we want to do, how do we decide my why?
Well, the why is a very important thing to ask yourself. Why am I here?
Right.
Why did I quit? Why did I give up? Why me? Sometimes we are hit with obstacles and pain and frustration and life challenges, and we simply say, why did it happen to me?
Right.
But again, the why gives us an introduction to the want, determining in life, what do we want? And when we determine what we want out of life, it introduces us to what we need out of life. And when we understand what we need out of life, we acknowledge what we must do, must have. In other words, like Muhammad Ali, he didn't say, I want to be the greatest or I need to be the greatest.
Right.
He said, I must be the greatest.
Right.
And because he said, I must be the greatest, he believed it and it manifests. And today we know him as the greatest boxer of all time because he knew that he must be the greatest.
Right. And what do you think stops us from achieving our goal? What stops us from not knowing, okay, so I may not know the why, but Coach Ron can help me with the why, but what stops us? Is it just fear, or I know sometimes it's fear to be successful, or what is it?
Well, you just said it, fear. Fear is a factor in all sorts of success. Sometimes our fear can outweigh our desire to succeed. And when your fear outweighs your desire to succeed, then it manifests. You can see that someone is fearful, and as a result, the effort is not there. But imagine when your desire to succeed begins to outweigh your fear of failure. And the reason why fear holds us back, because that's what we feed. We feed our fears, opposed to feeding our faith. And if you feed your faith, that's when your doubts and your fear begins to starve to death. So it's important to feed your faith, because what you feed and what you eat and digest emotionally, mentally, psychologically, and spiritually, what's part of your diet reflects in your effort, your energy, and of course your outcome.
Right, you're absolutely true. And so for a lot of folks, what should we be doing to help ourselves along the way? What should we be doing so that we have that ignite within us? You know, we feel ignited like every day, and positive and upbeat every day instead of the pain. And I want you to talk about the pain.
Well, one thing we all have in common is the choice. Yeah.
Absolutely.
We all have a choice to believe.
Absolutely.
A choice to wake up in the morning, a choice to pray, a choice to hit the ground running. We have a choice. And when we take that choice and we put it in a bottle and we begin to digest that choice, that liquid diet, what we believe, it becomes what we consume. Choice.
Okay.
I have the choice to be great. I have the choice to quit.
Right.
I have the choice to live my dreams. I have the choice to soar to new heights. I have the choice to go to school. I have the choice to be a better father, a better mother. I have the choice. And sometimes in life, we're not granted a second choice or a second chance. But when we have a choice, like having the choice to believe, and I think that's very, very powerful, implementing that one tool, that one ingredient, and that's having a choice and using the choice.
That's absolutely true. And because a lot of times we feel like we're not able, like we don't have a choice, like we don't have a voice and we don't know how to get it or where to get it. So what do? Let's say having a choice is not even on your radar. You just feel like there's always something wrong. That, you know, I can't succeed. I can't do this. I can't do that. So how do we kind of switch the disconnect on saying, I don't even know about a choice. I didn't even know that I had a choice to be able to do this.
Well, I always tell people that when you wake up in the morning, to look in the mirror and say, great things are supposed to happen to me. And when we can sell yourself on what's supposed to happen to you, that is the catalyst. That's how we can ignite our position in terms of what we believe. You know, just a simple look in the mirror at that beautiful individual and believing that something radiant and special is supposed to happen to you. And second, I always say that self-huddle. Before you walk outside the door, when you floss and brush your teeth, just like in football, you know, sometimes when during football you'll run and play and get tackled, and the players will get up and they walk back to the huddle. And they talk about what is going to happen next. Either I'm going to run a ball or throw the ball. A little football analogy, but they plan. And so every morning we should have a huddle, a self-huddle with ourselves. And listen, I'm going to have a great attitude. I'm going to focus. I'm going to maintain high energy. I'm going to put forth a best effort. And I'm going to drive sustainable results. I'm going to make it happen. And when you sell yourself on that, it's very powerful, because the moment you walk outside your door, the world will dictate something a little different for you. So you have to make up your mind, make up your mind. But if you don't make up your mind, sometime the environment in which we walk into will help make up your mind for you. And unfortunately, that may not be the best outcome.
Absolutely, and I think when we do that, then it is hard to find our why, and it is hard to decide what kind of choice I'm going to make. But why are you called the Ignite Coach?
Well, I've been doing this for over 20 years, helping to ignite the fire within people and drive the human spirit, and going through our seminars and lectures from local communities to all across the world. One day someone said, "Hey, Ron, you ignited me." I said, "Okay, well, I'm glad you were ignited." And then I started hearing it over and over and over again. Individuals from my seminars and conferences saying, "You didn't inspire me. I feel alive. I feel ignited." And so as a result, it kind of stuck with me. I was called Ignite Coach. And of course, I've been coaching from kids to executives to celebrities, for people from different walks of life, you name it, pro athletes, helping to ignite that fire and coaching something that they have never, ever been able to produce alone, but helping to be that GPS system, allowing them to drive their life forward. And I'm simply that GPS system, giving you tips and strategies along the way on that road and path through life.
Well, tell us how you do it. So how are you coaching kids, and how are you coaching just individuals, and how are you coaching companies?
Well, we have a approach to how we work with organizations. It's called the Team Ignite Experience. And what is the Team Ignite Experience? I work with an amazing group of people, consultants, speakers, authors, experts, subject matter experts, people with dynamic background that are 10 times smarter than me, coming together to ignite the fire and drive those phenomenal results from online training through our Peak Performance Academy, which is a online platform where people can learn a lot of information on how to drive results, how to pick yourself up every time you get knocked down, how to drive some phenomenal results. Additionally, we do the executive coaching, the one-on-one coaching, working with people from all walks of life. In addition, we do speaking seminars. Seminars live at your firm, at your company, in arenas. We do that kind of work. And then additionally, we do a lot of group coaching and team coaching, whether it's a conference call or in person. We help to mold and shape. And last but not least, we do Ignite Her conferences. So this is a series of conferences designed to fuel high-performing women and transform our communities. So those different programs we have collected together, that's the Team Ignite Experience, and that's what we deliver.
And we're going to talk about that conference, but you do some mentoring. And when you're working with young people, what are you telling them? How they can become successful? Or, you know what, these are the challenges that I had as a child, but you know what, it gets better as long as you make your mind up and you do it. So how do you work with the young people?
Well, we have a very innovative tool called Ignite Monthly that we offer to corporations. It's essentially individuals within the organization will weekly get video coaching through the cell phone, or through your laptop, any mobile device. And those, every week you'll get this email. And through the email, you're able to watch some awesome videos and about leadership, about conflict resolution, about innovation, different topics to help fire you up. In addition to that, you're able to send in some questions about the videos or issues that are affecting you personally and professionally within the organization or within life. Get on a conference call, talk to me or one of my dynamic coaches, and get some in-the-moment, real-time feedback to keep you fired up and to, more importantly, help you drive results. We offer Ignite Monthly to students. That's a version for students because we recognize that kids love their cell phones. So as a result, being coached through your cell phone, not only with the video coaching and the monthly calls, but more importantly, we help to assign you to your vision, and that's what helping you to find some pretty cool mentors with some of the organizations we work with. So Ignite Monthly, great tool for young people, in particular college students.
Yes.
College students. Ignite Money for college students, something that we're pretty excited about because we recognize over the years that according to the American College and University Associations, telling me, listen, 75% of students graduating from college are unfortunately not ready for the workforce. So we come up with Ignite Money for students to provide them with some innovative tips and strategies to give them the coaching that some executives will have. Somebody who's been working for a company for 20 years, you might get the executive coaching, but why not offer that at a stage while you're in college, helping you to get fired up and go to that next stage in life, willing, ready, and of course, able.
And able. I love that. I love that. So tell us about it. Tell us about being willing, ready, and able. Let's say I'm not a college student and you know what? I can't find the job of my dreams or I can't start the business of my dreams. So then how do I get ready? If there's nothing or there isn't anyone that can help me along the way, what happens? Because not everyone has a mentor.
Well, you're absolutely right. We all don't have a mentor, but the one thing we all have is resources.
Yes.
You know, I've been told 1,000 times, hey, Ron, I don't have any resources. Well, you're just not being resourceful enough. Right? It's amazing what we can find when we look for it, when we speak it into existence, when we call to the universe for things, we can find them. When we are looking for the answers to a problem, we can find the solution. In life, either you're in a problem or you're a solution. So it starts with finding that by looking at in the mirror, having a moment of self-exploratory, looking internal. It's very difficult to look internally and determine that you haven't put forth your best effort. You've quit quite often, and you lack the confidence. So sometimes when we look internally, that's what we see, unfortunately. But guess what? In that moment, inside, there's a voice hidden, something special. That's the human spirit that's telling you, you can do it. I'm right there with you. Every time you get knocked down, I'm going to help you get back up.
Absolutely. And I want to talk about your book and your workbook. And let's see, we were going to try and hold them up so everyone could take a look. Do I have it crooked? There we go. And then we have your workbook. So tell us about the book and your workbook.
Well, no matter what, You've Got to Live Your Dream is a book that's built around my life, my story of overcoming obstacles and potholes and challenges of life, but not quitting or giving up. And so it talks not only about some of my challenges, but from becoming an infant and troubled youth to living my dreams. And essentially, it's a roadmap to help anybody to live your dreams no matter what. That's why I titled the book, No Matter What, You've Got to Live Your Dreams, because I believe no matter what, you've got to live your dreams. And so we put together my story in addition to develop a workbook because after people started reading the book, they say, hey, Ron, the book is really engaging. It's a lot of great information. They need a workbook. And so we decided to create a workbook which is basically a tool that helps you do some self-exploratory look within, answer a series of questions. And when you finish with the workbook, you essentially have a roadmap mapped out,
Okay.
a channel for your life. In other words, determining where you are and learning up close and personal where you're going and how to get there. So I think it's a good tool for not only young people, but for people from all walks of life and at different stages in their life.
Right, right. Well, everyone needs to go buy that book. And so we want to talk about your conference, the Ignite
Yes.
Her for Women.
Absolutely.
So tell us all about that, because I just get excited just hearing you talk about it.
Well, Ignite Her Conference is a conference designed to literally ignite the fire within women. Essentially what it's titled, Ignite Her. Ignite her. When women are ignited and fired up, we're a better America. We are a better world. You know? Can you imagine supporting the very individual who gave birth to you, to me?
Absolutely.
Why not celebrate that person? Quite often we see women being tolerated, unfortunately, and mistreated. But don't tolerate women. Celebrate women and who they are and the sacrifices they've made to make not only you successful, give me the intestinal fortitude to live my dream, my mom, but more importantly, through women, the innovation that we use today, it was birthed through women, through women.
Right.
Every inventor was birthed by a woman. So essentially, you know, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, their moms gave birth to them.
Right.
And as a result of giving birth to gentlemen like the two I just mentioned, those mothers birthed something new to the world that changed the world.
Right.
So we're excited about igniting the fire within women and changing our communities and making an unmatched contribution to women.
And where did you get, so I love everything you said about women, of course. But how did you say, this is what I want to talk about? Like, I want to start this conference. You had a wonderful mother. So I want to do this conference. Why? Just not to celebrate women, but personally, you know, Ron Mitchell, I want to do this.
Well, I've worked with thousands of women from all across the world and talking to a lot of women, I noticed one common factor that they would often talk to me about barriers of achieving their goals. And so the theme of this conference is no barriers, only breakthroughs. And so I said, how can I offer women breakthroughs? How? Conference, bringing women together to talk about work-life balance, owning your vision and your voice, standing strong, how to succeed in a male-dominated environment. And not only will I take part in this awesome conference, but it's led, developed, and molded and shaped by some awesome women, authors, thought leaders, subject matter experts that will be speaking at this conference, sharing tips and strategies to help women change who they are, capture their goals, and soar to new heights and eventually become ignited. So needless to say, I'm fired up and I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, and it's something, you know, for women, we are trying to do the work-life balance. And, you know, how do I find the time for me when I have the child and I have the husband or the partner or, you know, how do I get it all together?
Not easy.
How do we get it all together at one time?
Well, the one thing you'll learn at this conference is that time management is very important.
Yes.
Determining what's the most important thing in your life. Prioritizing your life. Being able to organize, put things in place like a puzzle. This conference will help you to spread the puzzle out and put the pieces back together. Finding that balance. Knowing who I am, where I want to go, what my challenges are, and being given those strategies that you can implement, not tomorrow, but right in the moment, to change your life and to get you one step closer to acquiring your vision. And so we're very excited about offering that to the attendees to these conferences, because this conference is not only be launched on May the 11th in Baltimore, Maryland, at the Lord Baltimore Hotel, but it's going to be in D.C., Chicago, Charlotte, North Carolina. We're going to 22 locations across America and the world, including Germany, including Dubai, including London, Singapore. You just name it. We're going to go to some pretty interesting places, Canada, just to name a few. So I'm pretty fired up because we're going to be able to reach and support women and throughout this international tour like you've never ever seen before. I'm excited, and needless to say, I'm very fortunate to just be a part of something that can celebrate women.
And and the conference is from 2019 to 2020.
Absolutely, yes.
And so how are you doing this?
Well, we're going to be partnered with a group of amazing companies and community leaders, and so we are very excited just about our corporate partners and sponsors that are jumping on board to celebrate our communities and the women within our communities, and to help us make change, fuel vision, innovation, you know, inspire young people, young girls, that they can not only dream, but they can become and embody what they dream. It can actually become a reality. They can become ignited.
Yeah, and I love that. And I mean, that's so true. We have just a few more minutes. And give us some parting words.
Well, I want to say this, that we all have one thing in common. We believe in something.
Right.
And so we should look in the mirror every day and believe in the person you see. And if the person you see you don't like, believe that that person can change.
Okay.
Believe that the impossible is possible. Make it okay to fail, because through failure, we're introduced to our fortune. And so it's okay to fail.
Right.
Through failure, it helps us to overcome our fears, and it fuels our faith. And it gives us a book of famine, a book of pain and heartache that we can look back on and say, you know what? I was able to overcome something and change my life, and now I am literally living our dream.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Ron Mitchell, for being on the award-winning Ed Brown Show. It has been a pleasure, and we have just a few seconds. How can people find you?
Well, you can easily on Facebook at Ignite Coach Ron Mitchell, JDMBA. Also, Ignite Coach _Ron on Twitter, and also on Instagram. You can find me on YouTube, a lot of great information, Ignite Coach Ron Mitchell, and Team Ignite. Team Ignite. You can find us.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
And you know what? Find Ron. Definitely go on to YouTube. He has some great videos. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.